Although the Marauder did not make its first flight until November 25, 1940, its design showed such promise that the Air Corps ordered 1,131 B-26s in September 1940. Bombing from medium altitudes of 10,000 to 15,000 feet, the Marauder had the lowest loss rate of any Allied bomber, less than 0.5%. US, British, Free French, Australian, South African, and Canadian air crews all flew the B-26 in combat. Although most of the Marauders were assigned to Europe and the Mediterranean, the B-26 began flying combat missions in the Southwest Pacific in the spring of 1942. This beautiful artwork, titled A Shot Across the Bow, and drawn by aviation artist Roy Grinnell, shows the B-26 Marauder Susie-Q thundering down the Japanese carrier Akagi's flight deck, nearly grazing the bridge, moments after releasing a torpedo at the carrier on June 4, 1942, 7:10 a.m., 150 miles northwest of Midway Atoll. On that day, Lieutenant James P. Murray, of the Army Air Force's 22nd Bomb Group, piloted one of 4 B-26 bombers that took off from Midway Island to attack a Japanese fleet planning to invade the U.S. outpost about 1,100 miles northwest of Hawaii. Japanese fighter planes shot the bombers with machine guns and cannons. Murray's bomber was struck, and 3 crewmen were wounded, but he launched a torpedo at the aircraft carrier Akagi, and then he flew his craft across the ship in an attempt to escape the gauntlet of fire unleashed by the enemy surface fleet and swarming Zero fighters. Murray flew lower than treetop level above the deck of the massive ship, reasoning that skimming the flight deck gave him the best chance to survive. After the plane crash-landed on Midway Island, officials counted more than 500 bullet holes in the bomber, the Billings Gazette reported. The dramatic attacks by Army B-26 Marauders of the 22nd and 38th Bomb Groups, along with separate attacks by Navy TBD Devastators of Torpedo Squadron 8 from USS Hornet and a small detachment of 6 TBF Avengers from VT-8 operating from Midway Island, forced Japanese Admiral Nagumo to alter his battle plan, a decision that set the stage for the incredible American victory at the Battle of Midway. Murray and his crew were awarded the Distinguished Service Cross, and singer and radio host Lonnie Bell paid tribute to the feat in his song Midway, which he wrote in 1976. In 2003, Murray received the Jimmy Doolittle Award for Outstanding Service to the U.S. Army Air Corps in a ceremony in Washington, D.C. Murray, who saved his crippled B-26 bomber and crew by buzzing the flight deck of the Japanese aircraft carrier Akagi, died on February 3, 2013. Murray left active duty in 1959 and returned to Montana in 1969. He and his wife, Alice, lived on Bridger Creek east of Big Timber for 30 years before moving to Billings in 1999. His wife died in 2001.